What is good, Ninja? OG over here from Player Essence, and welcome to another Nintendo Switch and gaming news video. Today we have some awesome information for you guys, but before we get into that, I want to first and foremost say thank you guys so much. We recently hit 35,000 subscribers on the channel, and on top of that, we've been doing really good when it comes to our live streams and sponsors and subscriptions and everything. So I want to thank each and every single one of you guys, whether you're watching my channel, moderating, all the guys, the PE Ninja out there. You guys know who you are, so thank you so much for all the support on the channel, and let's keep things going in 2018. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get right into today's PE News video. So the Nintendo Switch has sold more in 10 months in Portugal than it did in 5 years with the Wii U. Yo, this is incredible. Although the numbers aren't massive or anything, it's still something to point out that the Nintendo Switch has actually sold more in its first 10 months in Portugal than the Wii U managed to do in 5 years. Shout outs to Nintendo Everything for the article here. And currently the system has sold more than 20,000 units when it comes to Nintendo Switch. And although that's not a lot, it's still more than the Wii U managed to do in 5 years. So it just goes to show you the shift when it comes to the Nintendo Switch. And I've talked about this a number of times. I mean, it's a big milestone for Portugal, which doesn't have a huge video gaming community when it comes to buying systems and stuff. Obviously, since it's only sold 20,000 units, it's low overall, but it just goes to show you kind of like how much more popular the Nintendo Switch is. And I think the best thing about all these different stories that we've been hearing about Spain fastest selling, South Korea, Canada, all these different places, heck, the US, as far as home consoles go, it just reaffirms that Nintendo once again made the right decision. Now, I think the most appealing thing with the Nintendo Switch, honestly, when you talk about the system, it has pretty much universal appeal. People have talked about whether portability is a gimmick, and that's something that I hear sometimes, not a lot of the time, but I do hear it every now and then, and I don't really think you can put a gimmick on portability. You know, I don't think you can really slap it with that label. Like, I don't have a problem with people slapping like Labo, for example. Yeah, that's kind of gimmicky, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. You have like the Wii Fit balance board, stuff like that. Yeah, that's kind of gimmicky. There are other things that are done in order to try to just attract attention, kind of flash there, and maybe it lasts, maybe it doesn't, but I don't think you could really put like the gimmick label on portability. I don't know if you can do that, because that means, okay, so this whole thing is a gimmick, a Nintendo 3DS, the whole basis of this thing is a gimmick. I don't think so. Or the Game Boy, it's meant to be to where you can take it anywhere. And I think with the Switch, it's just something that I think people have always wanted, but Nintendo has just never given it to us, I guess, right? I mean, over the years, we've had stuff like this, right? We've had the ability to play Game Boy games or to play Game Boy Advance games at home and on the go. We've had the GBA player. We've had the Super Nintendo, as far as the Super Nintendo, one that you plug into the Super Game Boy. There we go, the Super Game Boy. We've had that. We've had other things, and it's funny because I've had those things, you know, especially Super Game Boy. I use the Super Game Boy all the time, so I don't know, maybe it was just stubbornness from me, maybe it was just me not understanding, but that type of device, like with the Super Game Boy and my Game Boy, I remember using that so much, or at least until heck, there was even more of like a Super Game Boy when you talk about Pokemon, because you could put the Pokemon cartridge inside of the N64, the transfer pack, and then you can play Pokemon on Pokemon Stadium, and you can play it faster with sped up speed. So I mean, there was all sorts of ways that people have been playing their portable games at home, and then also going on the go and playing them with their Game Boy devices. So Nintendo kind of just put together it and gave us something that people necessarily didn't think that they might want, but they ended up wanting. Heck, I was one of those people, you know. So it's really cool. It's really cool to see how well that they're doing, and hopefully it does continue. And I think with the great games that they have coming out this year and some stuff that hasn't been announced yet, I really think that there's going to be some awesome stuff. So what do you guys think about the Nintendo Switch? Pretty much is outselling the Wii U as far as 5 years, outselling it with the Nintendo Switch in 10 months. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, I'm moving to the next article here. An analyst firm claims that Stardew Valley has sold a combined 3.5 million units across all platforms. And when I say claims, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's fact or anything like that, because we need to hear straight from the actual creators. But it does seem like that might be an amount that Stardew Valley has sold. So this is coming from Super Data Research Report, so they're pretty good when it comes to things. Quote, it may seem that Stardew Valley followed the path of many indie games. Eric Barone, or Concerned Ape, the developer, worked on the game in his spare time. In 2012, the game was published on Steam Greenlight, previously standard path for indie games to get onto the Steam platform. Finally, Stardew Valley released on PC on February 26, 2016. However, unlike most other indie games, it sold 800,000 copies in just 1 month. This was an amazing success, but the community made it even more special. Just a few days after launch, Redditors created a thread, now deleted but screenshotted can be found here, to help people who were pirating the game to purchase legitimate copies instead. That was unprecedented, and Stardew Valley's community continues to be highly engaged with the developer. The game has now been ported to the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch, and has sold over 3.5 million units. On top of that, the developer is releasing a highly requested multiplayer mode in early 2018. Now, what we do know when it comes to the Nintendo Switch version of the game, that it's pretty much been at the top of the charts since its launch. It's either been number 1 or I think as low as number 6 or 7, but I know it's never been out of the top 10 since it launched last year, which is incredible. Now, if we do just want to do like a little bit of a crude comparison, Enter the Gungeon, I think entered in at number 2, and for 2 weeks was somewhere between number 2 and number 10 or something like that, and that sold 75,000 copies in those 2 weeks. So you can only imagine what it's done on the Nintendo Switch. I would think it's probably sold hundreds of thousands of copies at this point, just because it's repeatedly been at either the top spot or in the top 10. I don't think I've ever seen it dip below the top 10. Maybe it has a couple weeks, but for the most part, it's been up there. So I would think it's sold at least minimum of 150 to 200,000 copies, and I'd probably say more than that on the Nintendo Switch, but that's just me taking a guess. I don't know for sure, but either way, Stardew Valley is doing extremely well on the Nintendo Switch. It's doing extremely well. 3.5 million units, if this report is correct, is absolutely phenomenal for an independent game, and the community is well behind this one. So it's good to see, especially you see that passion from one developer. I wonder what he's going to do next, because he did say that he's working on his next game. Maybe he has a sequel to Stardew Valley, although I think he might have said that it's not a sequel, but or a game in the same vein as Stardew Valley. So maybe it's something a little bit different, but you still have those kind of a sim type of mechanics where like you're growing stuff, you're going out and you're adventuring, and you come back and you have to take care of an area. Maybe it's something like that, but in a completely different theme. So what do you guys think about Stardew Valley potentially selling 3.5 million units worldwide when it comes to all platforms? Have you picked up the game yet? Are you planning on getting it? Are you excited for the new multiplayer mode? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, and moving to the final article here. Xenoblade Chronicles 2's latest update has removed a couple of the meme-worthy combat lines from the enemy soldiers, and you guys know what I'm talking about. There are a number of lines here. You guys do it all the time when you guys come out to my live streams. And if you've ever played Xenoblade Chronicles 2, a lot of them say the same lines over and over, and they go like this: you think you can take me? Don't forget me, you're done. But the ones that are the most popular are, you think you can take me and don't forget me, because they just say it the weirdest times, like you're beating the crap out of them. Don't forget me, you think you can take me, as you're literally beating the crap out of them. It's like, yeah, I think I can take you. You're almost dead. So it's just funny to hear. Them. So those have been removed, unfortunately. Now with Xenoblade Chronicles 2 update, these lines have been modified or removed. The "you think you can take me" has been swapped with "take that." Also, "don't forget me" has been shortened to just "don't forget." So it's still not very good. So "you're done," or perhaps more appropriately, "you're done," is still in place. And if you guys want to see the original, I'm not going to play it here, but if you want to see the original as far as the memes and stuff go, check out the link in the description below. And I think that was one of the most iconic things about the game. As more and more people played it, like it wasn't a meme at the beginning, even though I noticed it instantly. Like when they were saying, "you think you can take me," you know, "you think you can take me, don't forget me," I thought it was funny. Like instantly I started laughing when I was playing the game, and I'm like, I wonder if anybody else is going to pick up on this. And like for like a couple of weeks, like nobody said anything after the launch of the game, but then it started coming in like a lot, especially like in, I'll probably say like late December, early January. People really started memeing it up, like where people put like the glowing eyes and says, "you think you can take me," like pictures and stuff like that. So then it started getting kind of meme-ish, definitely by the end of the year or so. But I thought it would be earlier than that, because it's such a iconic type of like they say it so much and it's like so frequent. You would think that more people would have picked up on it sooner. Now maybe I missed out on that, but those have been removed somewhat, which is, I don't know if they should have removed them, but they did. I mean, you can go back to the original like if you want. Like you don't have to update the game at all. Although you don't get some of the cool stuff with the updates when it comes to things, but you can always not update it, you know, or just go back to the original version of the game. But I doubt anybody's going to do it at this point, because the updates really do help when it comes to like the mini map and things like that. So what do you guys think about Nintendo and Monolith Soft stripping the meme-worthy lines in terms of the soldiers? I would love to hear you guys' thoughts or not in the comment section below. All right, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of Player Essence across the interwebs in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon and YouTube live gaming page and consider supporting Player Essence. When you do so, it gets you access to all sorts of cool benefits, perks, rewards, and emotes via YouTube sponsorship. So check out the link in the description below and consider supporting Player Essence right here on YouTube. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Let me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to Player Essence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace.